Allow me to introduce myself. Who knows what dastardly crime he might perpetrate next?
He's a very clever arch criminal who must be put away. Another innocent victim of this suicidal maniac.
Okay. Now, Sister Mika, who's an avid supporter of the Dagger Squad over the years on the Brother Garfield podcast, says, Garfield, you changed the name. Yeah, I have a presentation and on Second Esdras. It's not complete. And I think Second Esdras is like the death blow to Black Hebrew Israelism. So I got to show step by step why I hold to a conclusion so people like Yawasap and Priest Daniela could look at it, because they're going to believe what they're going to believe anyway, because Second Esdras was written in the 1st century. No one could disprove that. And once they realize that, well, I have faith. Faith, this is not a faith conversation. It's what's a reality. And once that reality kicks in, it eliminates Arzareth. And they think Arzareth is America because at the end time, you're supposed to come from Arzareth to go back into the Israel or whatever, lead back to Israel or lead back to Assyria where they were. But, you know, I make the dopest, let me see if I could add this overlay real quick. Let me add this overlay. Hold on there. How do I add it? I want to add one. Shout out to the great fathers who have been taking charge for the last 200,000 years. We have led families for the last 200 to 350,000 years. And today, I wanted to do a show about Black fathers, right? Black fathers are winning and we've been winning. And we've been winning for centuries. Even with all the odds against us, we have been winning. But I'm celebrating Black Israelites, fathers, honoring their father's legacy, or our father, because they say we're all Israelites. The root to Black Hebrew Israelite white supremacists. I'm gonna get to that in a second, and I'm not gonna be long because I gotta go hang out with my tribe. So I'm gonna be on until like around 12. Probably 12:15, and I'll be out of here. If anybody wants to join the panel, we could have a conversation. No trolling today. I'm not in the trolling mood. No trolling. But pay attention, though, because you're going to learn something. Did you know that Black Hebrew Israelites, some of them, and when I say Black Hebrew Israelites, I'm only talking about One West. I'm not talking about Zion Lex. I'm not talking about Divine Prospect. I'm not talking about none of those dudes. You have 3 types of Israelites in America. You have Christian Israelites, William Christian, Crowdy, Cherry, Frank Cherry. Those are Christian Israelites who were claiming to be Israelites, but they were literally Christians, Masonic Christians. Then you have like what the brother Zan Lex used to be a part of, and Sister Mika used to have the Old Testament only, which are Black Jews or Black Hebrews. That's it. 1969, Abba Bivens started the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. I don't want nobody to tell me about Nat Turner was a Black Hebrew Israelite. Stop it. Nonsense. All right? But this fly I made on the fly today, look how it turned out. I just made this. I want to introduce you guys to 2 men who has a very fatherly influence on the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. And you're going to see in a minute why I say that. All right. So I'm going to keep the flyer up so y'all, they could love it. And fathers, if you want to hang out, I'm right here. Father's Day. Let me pin this. Hold on a second here. Let me get to the channel. Let me pin this. All right, so we good. Share the show, like the show, do what y'all do. I didn't promote the show this morning, but you know what? Let me put it on. Let's get this out of here. All right. Anybody want to come on and jump up? Garfield, you obsessed with Hebrew Israelites. Yes, I like talking about the Bible. It keeps my day going. And it's fun. It's fun. It's fun talking about the Israelites. And by the way, too, it's a topic that I know I could win in. It's a topic I know I can win in. And sometimes when you could win on a topic, you fight it because you know you could win. What's up, beloved brother?
What's up, beloved elder?
What's going on? What's going on?
You good, yeah? Happy Father's Day, man.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I'm here celebrating Black Israelites fathers.
Yeah.
Do you want to comment?
Celebrating fathers of oh, you're literally I thought that was just the name of the title because it's Father's Day. Are you reading from something called that?
No, because I was supposed to do a show on Second Esdras.
Okay.
And I wasn't. I wanted to do slides and make it official so people could see the sources and everything. I wasn't complete.
You know what? Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Lately, I've been doing presentations for other things anyway. So it's like I'm in the field now. So when I'm ready for you, I'm ready for you.
What are you talking about? Challenging me or just coming on to teach?
If it will be possible in the later future that I could present a presentation on your show.
Of course, bro. You family, you Dagger Squad, bro. Because you changed, you changed over the years. You're not like you held to one position.
Come on, man. I've been watching you for years, so I appreciate that.
Of course, of course, of course, of course. We family brothers. And shout out, I don't know if you're a father or not, but shout out to your father. Yeah. Shout out to your father for producing you.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that, man.
And by the way, too, I don't want to hear
I got your book, you know, and I've got it in a nice bit in my shelf in my library. So yeah, I just want you to know that.
I appreciate the support. And I'm actually going to I'm revamping my YouTube channel, and I'm going to be focusing on TikTok and YouTube some more, and Instagram.
Okay.
Going to be teaching, putting out videos, a lot of videos per week. I'm going to chop my videos up and put out a lot of shorts.
Okay.
And that's just what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Just teach. I'm just teach. I'm the teacher.
Yeah, and I hear you. I've learned a little two things from you. I can't. That's one thing you're never gonna hear from me is downplay you like that. You may have an agenda, but I give you a little flowers, you know.
I don't have no agenda. My agenda is to teach the truth and have us stop following nonsense. Think about it this way. Think about it this way, right? Should we, if you believe in God, right, and you call your God Abba, or you call your God A, whatever you want to call your God, right?
Yeah.
And you have a connection to your God. You pray to your God.
Yeah.
Should me and you have the same exact connection to that God?
It depends on how your take on it is. If you believe in God as well. If you don't believe in God, then,
no. I'm giving you that. I'm saying we believe in a higher power. I have no problem with that at all.
Oh, you have no problem with that.
Yeah? What I'm trying to figure out.
Do you though, Garfield? Not really. I
No,
know
I'm
you.
saying to
I
you,
think so, but
I'm saying to you,
yeah.
for example, you pray. Why do
So
we say, pray for me?
yeah,
It's like your prayer goes faster to God than mine. And I'm being carnal a lot, but let's think about it for a second. Like my brother-in-law is on. I love brother-in-law. Brother-in-law is a Muslim.
yeah,
He's more of like I don't want him to feel like I'm disrespecting him. He's more like of the Orthodox Islamic side. The
yeah.
Orthodox Islamic side,
That's the side I'm on.
old world Islam. All right.
That's the side I'm on. If I'm
All
not
right.
of no fringe group as well, but
All right. So now, if brother law prays to Allah, and I believe Allah and God is one. I believe Yahweh and the God of the Israelites is one. I think it's one God by different names, right? That's all over the world.
yeah,
I'm saying if brother law has his own way, say for example, he comes on here Sunday,
yeah,
and he has his children. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the fathers and the greatest men on earth. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day. Now, if brother law goes to the shed in the back of his house and turns the lights off and say, hey, I'm gonna connect to Allah, go on his knees and start praying to God, and he connects to his God, should he have the same connection as you? That's the point I'm trying to make. Because when you have a group of people, a lot of people don't want to hear this, and they all pray to the same God, you're really a part of a cult. You're part of a cult. I'm an individualite. I believe if you have a connection to God, that's your connection, nobody else's. You ask brother law, or let's say brother X. I'm not going to use brother law as an example. Let's say brother X out there praying, and you say, pray for me. God might have that person on call block. You know what I'm saying? They can't get you to God, but you asking them to pray for you. How is their prayer different than your prayer when you're praying to the same God? Ultimately, and go ahead.
I don't really believe in like obviously it happens in it that spread how people spread faith in it, but me, I'm not one of them guys that's you have to be Muslim or whatever. What I do think what we should do is teach that there's one God in it, but to force another person to follow my way, my deen, I wouldn't necessarily agree to. But that there is a God, that argument there, I'm ready to fight that, like whatever it is. But to say my one's better than yours and yours is better, in my own biased opinion, I'm always gonna think mine's the greatest. But do I express it? Like, no, that's just my own opinion. Keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that people have to follow a certain religion. In my best opinion.
Brother law, it's all you, bro.
Good morning, brothers. Peace and blessings to everybody that's watching the channel, and happy Father's Day to your fathers that's on the panel as well as the fathers that's in the chat.
Yeah, peace and blessings, man. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh waki. كيف حالك?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I don't know if you saw the question that I asked Garfield in the chat, but I think this would be a profound topic if you was to actually bring it on the channel. I had a conversation yesterday, a lengthy conversation between myself, Brother Morpheus, and Reggie. And we were talking about the crucifixion.
Right.
And how we had the conversation in regards to like the Kemet on trial, having the crucifixion on trial. And some of the key points that Morpheus was emphasizing on was looking at it from that paradigm of not from the Christian standpoint, but on the standpoint how it was structured in Rome. What was done during the crucifixion? The bill was incredible that we was having. I was actually stuck on the phone for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours. But I think it would probably be a phenomenal presentation if you could probably catapult it, and you could probably just break it down to maybe 1 or 2 shows.
What do you want me to call it? What do you want me to name it?
I mean, it would basically be on you, brother. I mean, I'm all for it because, as you know, as a Muslim within the Deen of Islam, we don't believe in the crucifixion at all.
Right.
We've got
I
literature there, though.
I understand that.
Brother, there's literature there. We've got some hadith Well, in Tafsir al-Tabari, but there's a little
In regard,
different opinion early days.
yes, I mean, to believe that he is the son of God and all
No,
that
no,
comes
no,
with
no,
it.
no, no. La.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give too much of the build that we had, just giving it out there for people for content, because that's why I made sure that I put it in the chat, and that's why I touched base with you directly, Garfield, so I can just speak with you, whether it be in the open, and I can just somewhat minimize it. I mean, if you like, I can reach out to Reg, reach out to Morpheus, and we can actually have them jump on the panel so we can just engage in the conversation as well. If it's cool with you, I wouldn't mind. But I
Yeah,
figured it was best for me to present it this way instead of just actually just building on it and more so elaborating on it more so, because I'm at the point now from everything that I've seen on the internet, I'm not giving out no free content, nor am I subduing myself to somebody else or this person, that person using me for content or getting capital gain and things. I'm not into that. Information is information. It's not meant to be sold. It's not meant to be none of the above. Information is there for people to obtain. You can obtain it for being the truth, or you can take it as not being the truth, let it go in one ear and out the other. Knowledge is not supposed to be pimped.
Yeah, no, true talk, man. I can't lie. Once upon a
you know
time
what?
in life,
I'm
I
gonna
wanted to
set up
gatekeep
a
certain
what
knowledges,
I'm gonna
man.
do
But
is I'm sorry,
it's true,
beloved.
man.
I'm
No, I
gonna
was
set
just
up
saying. Once
something
upon a
where
time, I was like that, gatekeeping knowledge, man. I weren't trying to let out the, but
we
nowadays
all
you get
guilty
me.
of that some way somehow at times, and where we people want to say having conversations, people use people because of what they have. A lot of people use me because I'm just that guy when it comes to Black Hebrew Israelism, or even the Bible per se, from a conscious perspective, somebody who no longer holds on to that. So people use me, for years. So I mean, it doesn't matter because using goes both ways. If you can't be used, you're useless. That's just a saying that's out there. But I feel like any information, like our brother Law said, I mean, should be free and should just go out to people. But if people do decide to charge or whatever, that's on them, and that speaks to what they do on their motives.
No, I get the premise in regards to you doing the hard work and you doing the due diligence and doing the research and things of that nature, and you're structuring it into a context where it's presented to the people, and because of your services and because of your accolades of doing your studies and things of that nature, you reward them for it. I get that. What I'm speaking about in regards to, brother, is this: if I'm happy to have a dialogue with somebody or somebody else is having a dialogue, and because we're having a dialogue in a certain arena or things of that nature, you feel obligated to use it upon yourself to pimp me for me to make money for you. I'm not entertained by a man being perceived, quote unquote, wallahi for speaking this way, but I'm not cool with men being treated as bottom bitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to these brothers. I'm going to reach out to Reggie and I'm going to reach out to Morpheus and I'm going to have them jump onto the panel now, bro.
All right,
I've
cool.
spoken to Morpheus before. He's good at Arabic, but there's some things he will twist in it because obviously he's got his little biases, but yeah.
Of course, I mean, you have to realize and take into consideration, Morpheus, I've been knowing him since I was a kid. Me and Morpheus come from the same hood.
Okay.
So with that being the case, I tell a lot of people when we're engaging in dialogues and we're engaging in conversation in regards to Islam, the conflict that exists in the deen of Islam is when people make the comparison between Arabia Fusha and actual context of Arabic, the language. That's where things get somewhat convoluted.
You broke up there. I didn't hear you.
There's a difference between Arabia Fusha and the actual Arabic language.
Yeah.
And that's where it somewhat gets convoluted. But Garfield, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna just make this phone call to these brothers so they can jump onto the panel. Inshallah.
Well, you know what,
I'll be
Brother Law?
He want
Brother
all
Law,
the smoke.
let's set it up for another day because I'm not going to be on here long. I'm going to be on here for like an hour and 20 minutes. So
okay, I know you gotta play with the tribe. You gotta be with the tribe. I get it. I understand, brother.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have them come on and we deal with it. We deal with it at the appropriate time. It's not a problem. All right.
Definitely.
All right.
But I'll just sit back in the back and watch.
Yeah.
Looking forward to the build, enjoying the show, brother.
All right, cool. All right. For those who don't know, right? Being a black Hebrew Israelite is from 1969. It was made in America. Black Jews, black Hebrews, as far as being stapled within the community, has always been in America from when Jews were bringing their slaves who they manumission from way before there was a Wentworth or a Ford. So let me just make that clear. But the black Jewish movement that is known, that people follow as far as a religious movement claiming that they're Israelites, the black Jews, black Hebrews, with Emmanuel, Ford, or Wentworth, is from like the 1915s, 1920s, so forth. Ford was a part of the Garvey movement, so forth. As far as Christian Israelites, you talk about Cherry, you talk about Crowdy, you talk about William Christian, who were what I would call Christian Israelites. So when I say black Hebrew Israelite, I'm talking about people who follow a One West teaching.
Okay.
That's it. Now, the One West teachings, they developed something called the 12 tribe chart. The 12 tribe chart is based on whether I would say British Israelism had a chart. So they may have gotten it from there. I wasn't there with Aria or Abba Bivens, so I can't say 100% where they got the chart from. But there's two things that came to my mind. The Ethiopians, the brother in Jamaica who was cool with Abba Bivens in the 1960s, Ethiopian World Federation or whatever they call it, they have their own chart, their own 12 tribe chart that's based off of your sign, when you were born, and all that.
The Ethiopian who? The Orthodox Church?
No, the Ethiopians in Jamaica.
Oh,
not the Orthodox Church. No, these are Rastafarians.
So even when I said that, I was even in reference to Wentworth. So not the literal Ethiopians. What do you mean Ethiopians in Jamaica? What movement was that?
The Rastafarians. I'm talking about Rastafarians. Rastafarians.
So you're okay. I'm with you.
Rastafarians.
I'm with you. Yeah,
so what we find, family, is that they teach British Israelism. So on the left-hand side is a gentleman by the name. Let me give you his name so everybody looks him up and look at him, because he's the one that invented something called the theory that the Schizians are Israelites. The Schizians are Israelites. And from when he stated it, that's where British Israelism got it from.
What, this guy on the screen here, yeah?
The one on the left-hand side, right? Okay. The one on the left-hand side. I'm going to give his name right now.
Yeah, please do.
Give his name. His name is... Hold on a second. Let me...
So, are you claiming Aria and them lot copied it? Yeah, obviously, it would lead to somebody getting information from there, but did they exactly like, they read his book and they just morphed it into their own?
Yeah, pretty much that's what happened. And when we look at these authors from the 18th century or 19th century, this is what they're doing. So they try to claim that the Neuri, the Neuri, as a Scythian tribe, the Greek authors named them, but this is what the guy claimed. His name is hold on, let me get his name for you guys. Gotta get his name before we do anything here. His name is Olaf von Daling. Olaf von Daling. He's in the 18th century. He specifically linked the Scythian tribe Neuri.
What's his name? Olaf?
Israel.
How do you spell it?
Olaf, O-L-O-F, von Daling. Matter of fact, let's look him up real quick.
Yeah, can you put on the screen there?
Yeah, let me put him on the screen real quick. Olaf von Daling. So he's the father.
So this is where the 12 tribe comes, the chart comes from.
Hold on 1 second, brother. Hold on 1 second. Let me just break it down slowly for everybody. What happened is in 2 Kings, there was a gentleman. Oh, hold on, let me get his name right. Olaf von Daling. All right, hold on. Olaf von Daling. All right, let me take this off the screen. So Olaf von Daling, why is this important, family? I'm going to tell you why it's important. It's important because there are some groups within the Black Hebrew Israelite movement, like Tabernacle of David. I think Ram with my brother Yawasap. I think ISUPK. There's a few other groups. I don't know if all of them teach it, so don't put that on me. But I do know that some teach it. This is how they're trying to say how the people got to here to be in the 12 tribe chart. So they're basically saying, hold on, let me do this. One there. Let me open up 2. All right, so let me get this right here. All right, so let me roll back a little bit. As a matter of fact, I got the wrong file. Let me get this file right here. Israelite presence before Columbus. The reason why this is important, family, because, and I'm not picking on the Israelites, because one, I don't think they really know how to research. I'm not trying to violate anybody else.
No,
really
they don't. They don't. They don't. They
to
don't.
hold to their belief. So it kind of puts them in a jam of
And the curse
Garfield
thing
correcting
dumbs down their brain as well. It's sad to watch.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So Olaf von Daling lived from 1708 to 1763. Was a Swedish nobleman, poet, historian, and courtier. He was an influential literary figure of the Swedes. So this is him right here. So happy Father's Day to the Hebrew Israelites.
It's still the same thing on the screen. Did you switch it up?
Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on there. Let me take this off. Oh, I know what to do. I forgot I got to take this off this way. My bad.
Yeah, no, I can
So
see
this
it.
guy, happy Father's Day to the Black Hebrew Israelites. But this is the gentleman that's the first to ever claim the Schizians were Israelites. This is your daddy. So happy Father's Day to my Hebrew Israelite family. Here you go. All right. Now, why is this important? This is important because when this happened, this is the Assyrian Exile time period. What we found out is that 3 kings in all helped to deport the Hebrew Israelites from the northern kingdom. These are the places that they went to, right? So we know where they went. What happened is one of the places is over here, which is called the Medes. So the Medes area, what they're claiming is that after around 650 BC, that's when the people from the Medes left. Now, the only tribe that we know really went to the Medes was Naphtali, because if you read the book of Tobit, it actually tells you that some of the tribes from Naphtali was there in the Medes area. And we know where the Assyrians took them. Now, the key now is if all the tribes left from the Medes area, the other tribes stayed back. So that actually kills the 12 tribe chart, because if the other tribes didn't leave and go with them, then what are you talking about? So with Arzareth now, with the whole thing with Arzareth is that they're saying that the tribes left from here and went through Second Esdras, which is Arzareth. This is why I have to clean up Second Esdras and show how they're wrong, because I make it clear. So people could arm themselves with the information. So when they argue with them, they could go back to my video as a reference.
Even the word means eretz. That's what it means, land in Hebrew.
Yeah, it's another land. I know when it actually was mistranslated in the 1st century by the person, because he was reading the Rabbi Akiva and Rabbi Elazar debate. They were debating of where the lost tribes went, and they were using Deuteronomy 29, 27 or 28, which states that they went to another land. So the person now, when they're transliterating what they're saying in the 1st century, They made a mistake and made another land, which was like a hypothetical place.
Yeah, into a location.
They made it into what's called a proper noun.
Yeah, yeah.
So a proper noun, Arzareth, because if you notice, the word Arzareth is not written anywhere else in the Bible as Arzareth.
Yeah.
It's written as Eretz Aheret.
Yeah.
All right. But anyway, besides that, we figured out geographical locations. That's where they actually went. They went to those areas. But what I want to point out with this map right here is that we do find these communities staying there and continuing to live within the communities where they're transported to. Because if you notice in Isaiah 11, it says the places where you're going to come from, the remnant. They're going to come from where? Elam, which is in Persia, which is where the Medes were. You know what I'm saying? So the Bible actually gives you the code and tell you where the people are. And beyond the Euphrates, if you look at Josephus, he says where the tribes were. They were beyond the Euphrates. The Euphrates, as you see on the screen right here, beyond it. They said in his day they were beyond the Euphrates. And if you read 1 Chronicles 5:26, it tells you that Reubenites, the Gadites, and who else was it? Was it Manasseh? The tribe of Manasseh was still there up to that day, which was written around the end of the 3rd century, or sometime in the 3rd century. The book of Chronicles was rewritten. So we have documentation within the biblical text supporting what I'm saying. So 2nd Esdras, as a late book, made a couple of errors, but we get into that when I get into 2nd Esdras. But the point is, they're saying that these people, the Medes, are who left from the Medes are the Scythians. So I'm gonna play.
Who's the Scythians again? Europeans.
Scythians come from Siberia.
Like Asia side.
They come from Siberia, bro.
Okay. Go on. I'm with you. I'm thinking they're like some flipping Roman looking kind of guys. My bad.
12 tribes when you're ready, and I'm gonna time you out because every week you come and you spam my chat. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna time you out until you come on my panel.
So what do all I don't see Zion Lex using this though.
No, Zion is more of the although he believes in the New Testament now, he's more of the Black Jewish movement. If he wants to, I don't think when
it comes to Judaism, because I'm from the UK, so when it comes to Judaism, if I'm gonna listen to like any of the teachers, that's someone I actually go to. But it's like he don't teach that, so I'm even wondering if that doctrine Azareth is still being taught in America, because I don't see Tazariak teaching that. If I'm wrong,
which one of the doctrines?
Pardon?
Which one of the doctrines?
What you're talking about now?
Yeah, they teach it. They just don't talk about it. Okay,
I remember back in the day they used to talk about it a lot, though.
Yeah, they used to, but they what happened is some of the stuff that they teach is just so crazy.
The people who really push that theory is them Aboriginals. They push that Azareth thing. They want that to be that.
Hold on 1 second. Let me show you something real quick here. British Israelism. If you look at the movement, the guy on the right is Wilson. Wilson is around 1840. He's one of the main influences of British Israelism. So the picture that I have up that on the page is basically to show that. Now look at this right here. They said the 10 tribes, look at what they teach. They said the 10 tribes where the Hebrews are Scythians and Cimmerians. The Hebrews turn into Scythians and Cimmerians. But let us wait.
Who's the Cimmerians?
Cimmerians. They're also Scythians, a tribe of the Scythians also. Okay. All right, because it's 4 or 5 tribes of them. But the thing is, the Scythians had kings. This is what's crazy about the whole Scythian things. I don't know if these guys have researched it, but I remember I did this over 5 to 7 years ago, and I'm learning as I go because I just think it's a cult. So when you have a cult teaching, all is one and one is all. So they all have to believe this. This is what's crazy about the whole thing. They have to believe this to be a part of the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. And if you teach it, oh, the white man is trying to hide it. He's the one that gave you the information. But the difference is, this is the difference, ladies and gentlemen. The difference is the one simple difference. They claim the Anglo-Saxons and all those people, the Celtics, are black, and they come from, and how the Anglo-Saxon was formed when they migrated to England, that they were all black. This is what
is people teaching that?
Yeah. They're teaching that. But the thing is, the British Israelites are teaching that they are white. So that's
I know about them white people. I'm from the UK. They don't, like, if they're around here, they're very small in number. Very. But black people teaching British Israelism, that's new to me. Well, boy, man, I don't know. What?
I'm sorry, the Schizians are what they call the steppe peoples, and we're gonna look at that in a minute. But this is from my presentation over 7 years ago, right, or 5 years ago. And look at what I'm saying here. But let us waive the objection, vital as it is, that the 10 tribes were never lost, and proceed to examine the supposed proof that these tribes are today represented by the British. The first step is to get them into Europe. This is effected with the aid of a passage in second Ezra 13:40, in which it is declared that the 10 tribes had separated from the heathen of the land to which they were carried, and had passed into a land called Arzareth. Scholars point out that this name is evidently a representation of Eretz Achareth, another land, and a manifest reference to Deuteronomy 29, between 24 and 28. But British Israelite truth divides the word by taking Ar as one component, meaning a city or hill, and finding Zareth, a concealed reference to the river Sareth. This is a tributary of the Danube. It is argued that the 10 tribes cross Assyria to the Danube region, and the date of their migration is fixed at 650 BC. So when you argue with them, I'll be on Clubhouse and playing stupid. I play fool in Jamaica. We have a saying that says, hold on, rude boy, hold on.
Yeah, you got it.
Sometimes when I'm on Clubhouse, I have to play fool to catch wise.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to have them on record saying this. This is what they're copying. So when they say the Assyrians go to the Danube region and the date of their migration is fixed to 650 BC, no proof is given for this date, and it involves the assumption that the 10 tribes managed this exploit within 70 years after the fall of Samaria, and while Assyria was still in the plenitude of its power.
Yeah.
So this is what they're doing. So 650 BC date is important, but the reason for this arbitrary date soon appears. It was in 650 that the Scythians are said by Herodotus to have appeared in the region of the Black Sea. So British Israelite once declares that this is the date when the 10 tribes arrived in Europe, being in fact no other than the Scythians. For this identification, there's not a shred of evidence. The Scythians were not Semites. Formerly, it was suggested that they were of Mongolian origin, but the present trend of opinion is towards regarding them as Aryans. According to Herodotus, they were not a pleasant people. In war, they were scalp hunters. In religion, they were polytheists, but used neither temple nor altar. When their king died, you notice it says king, right? They had their own king.
Mm-hmm.
When their king died, they celebrated his funeral by killing 50 youth and 50 horses and setting up their stuffed bodies around his tomb. Could there be a greater contrast than between such people and the Hebrews? Again, they are claiming that they are the Scythians. Now, let me stop for 1 second. And again, who is the guy that
when you said
hold on, beloved. Hold on. Who is the guy that started the Scythian Israel stuff? That guy right there, Olaf von Daling, on the left-hand side. That's their daddy. So happy Father's Day from Olaf von Daling's family. All right, go ahead, my brother.
You see the book Second Ezra. What language was it written in its original form?
Which one?
The where Asareth's in.
It could be Hebrew, Greek. It's leaning more towards Greek lately with the latest scholarship, but originally they used to say it's from Hebrew.
So you see where you wrote on your thing, R meaning country or like town or hill, I mean, because it can mean town. And Seraph, like, where did that come from, that understanding?
Oh, that's from British Israelism. This guy here, from John Wilson.
Oh, literally, this guy here, not no French person that's updated his works.
No.
So that breakdown is from him.
It's from hold on, I'm gonna tell you exactly where it's from. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you where it's from. I'm gonna give you the source where it's from. It's from the British Israel Truth, page 115. So hold on, let me Google it right now. British Israel Truth, and see when that book was written.
That's a serious gymnastics, basically. That's what
British Israel Truth, the book. Let's see when the book comes out. A Handbook of Enquirers. They have the 6th edition. It came out in the 1800s. British Israelism, is a pseudoscientific. This belief is rooted in interpretation of the Bible and historical claim that developed in the 19th century. That particular book is probably from Israel in Britain. That's from the 1800s.
Okay.
Hold on, let me see if there's an actual book that I could actually find. Yeah, there's a book. It came out in 1932. I'm sorry. 1932 or 1911. Yeah, somewhere around here between 1911 and 19 whatever. And some people rewrote it, republished it over and over and over and over.
But where was this British Israelism? Where was it being emphasized in? Because I don't see it I can't see it alive in the UK amongst the white people, because I've not really.
It's there, but it's more like a Christian identity has taken it over.
Okay. Oh yeah, with the spiritual Israel thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring on some guys from the other side who are white. I don't want people to think I'm just picking on my black Hebrew Israelite brothers, because there's others that teach this craziness that needs to be exposed also.
No, I hear you still. I hear you.
Deuteronomy 33:17. Hold on, let me tell you. I think I may have found it. Hold on. Ars Earth. Is Ars Earth in there? Hold on, let me look if Ars Earth is in there. This is why it's important, the whole thing about King James being black, right? The King James being black argument is connected to British Israelism too, because remember, he also thought he was.
What they teach that
Hold
in the
on 1
British
second.
Israelism as well.
Hold on 1 second. Let me deal with this guy in the chat real quickly. Look at what this guy says, right? Let's put this guy on the big screen for a second. Let's give him a voice. Y'all believe everything the white man say, but the white man is the one that said that the Schizians are Israelites. So you copied the white man. What are you saying? What are you talking about?
Oh, is that person a Hebrew who commented?
Look what he write. Go. Them debates been proven. Garfield turned down Captain Tazariak. No, Captain Tazariak is scared to have a debate with Garfield. How about that part? And by the way, this could probably be Katazar being a troll right here.
Okay.
Let me put him in timeout right here. Let's put him in timeout. When you're ready to come on stage and show yourself, let me know. All right. So go ahead, my brother. You wanted to say something.
Oh no. It's about the British Israelism thing. What? So they teach King James was an Israelite or a Jew as well.
Yes. But let me get this.
It's like whoever these people.
No, they say King James is black. And let's deal with the Schizians for a second, though.
I've seen something about the Scottish people. Some Scottish.
Yeah, the Scottish are black. They're originally black. Everybody's black.
Yes.
Anthony Stahl, what's up? How can I help you? Happy Father's Day, brother.
Happy Father's Day? Oh, okay. You too.
What's going on? What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to learn something, man. I heard that. I'm trying to learn something. You from Jamaica?
Facts.
Yeah, I'm from Jamaica too. Yeah, man. I try to learn something. Cause me, you're very knowledgeable. Something about the Scythian. Could you give me some history about Scythian? Because I'm trying to learn history, you know?
Yeah. I was even thinking about that. If you could,
all right. I'm gonna play this video right here. Check this video out. This is gonna break it down for you. All right.
No, man. I want you giving me history. I don't want nobody else, man.
Because it's in the flow of the show. I got you. Relax. I got you. It's in the flow of the show. Let's check it out. This doctrine of pardon purpose that the Bible gives salvation only to Negroes, Hispanics, and American Indians. Hilariously, whites are profane people destined to tread the highway to hell. Although the BHI professes that the word. Anyway, check this out.
I know this verse.
Schizians, look at Schizians. The Schizians have universally been accepted
Yeah,
as
they're Europeans.
For Paul to say that the Schizians are eligible for salvation proves that whites, according to the Bible, can be saved. The Schizians were nomads who roamed the Caucasus Plains. Their tombs in the inner rocks to this day harbor their frozen bodies, which were known for their whiteness. Not me, it's what science has proved. Those who live under the more northern parallel, those I mean who have the beards over their heads, since they are far removed from the zodiac and the heat of the sun, are therefore cool, but because they have a richer share of moisture, which is most nourishing and is not there exhausted by heat, they are white in complexion, straight-haired, tall and well-nourished, and somewhat cold by nature. These two are savage in their habits because their dwelling places are continually cold, the wintry character of their climate. Animals are in accord with these qualities. We call these men by a general name, Schizians. Ketchup video.
Okay, hello?
Hold on, my brother. From India, from Persia, from Ethiopia, welcome crowds of monks every hour. The Armenians have laid aside their quivers. The Huns are learning the salt of the frost of Skidia are welcomed by the fire of faith. Let us view the remains of Skidia. So this is where the Scythians are, right?
Oh, sound good, man.
So what are they? European, Asian, what are they?
These people grew up right beside Russia and migrated to that region.
Yeah, so they're European.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
they're
that's
R1B, they're R1B and R1A and all that stuff.
But, my brother, can I ask that question? Can I ask that question? I just want. I'm here to learn. I just want to know.
No, you're
right?
not. No, you're not.
No, what is that question?
No,
Like,
you're not.
sir,
No, you're not.
sir,
no, you're
sir.
Not. No, you're not. No, you're not, brother. You Jamaican. We know Jamaican people very well.
But listen,
you already have your preconceived notion and you want to argue. So
what on the brethren? If you what on the brethren? I like what on the man? What on the hey, King.
Put the argument on the floor. What do you want to argue about?
Me not listen, brother. I'm a very humble person. I'm not here to argue with you.
Go ahead.
What man. I'm trying to ask question. The question I'm trying to.
These are the Scythians on the screen, by the way.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Can I ask you the question I want to ask? What does the word Scythian mean? Scythian.
I think the guy showed it at the beginning. I think it means
no. According to your record, your research, where the word Scythian come from?
We just gotta look it up, bro. It's not forbidden.
Okay, but hold on, Bridget. If you're teaching about a subject, right? You have to know the definition of the subject you're talking about, right?
What does it
no,
mean?
You just the word Scythian. Hold on, brother. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. You ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you.
That's not what this Israelite claimant, man. Relax.
I'm not an Israelite. What is an Israelite?
Now I get what's going on.
What is an Israelite, Bridget? Hold on, man. Israel. I mean, no, man. I'm a Muslim. I'm gonna ask question. I'm a Muslim. What I'm saying is, okay, what I'm saying is, the word Scythian means bowman because why they was called bowman?
It means
because
what?
It means bowman because they were famous for shooting.
Hold on. You said it.
Go ahead.
What does it mean?
The word B-O-W-M-A-N. Yeah, Jamaican, you're supposed to understand that piece of that.
You're not pronouncing the word properly. I don't understand what
you're saying. Bowman, B-O-W-M-A-n, bowman.
Okay, so like an archer.
The word Scythian. Yeah, man, an archer. Right. What on that? Okay, what? Hold on. Now the Scythian, they occupy the part of Russia, right? Known today as Crimea, right? Hold on. Now when you read, hold on. When you read Colossians chapter 3, verse 4, I'm a Muslim. I've been a Muslim all my life. When you read Colossians chapter 3, verse 11, the Scythian were people that from the lost tribes of Israel. The Roman, the Greeks is the one that gave them the term Scythians, or barbarian. Barbarian is a person that are not a part of the Roman custom. They call them barbarian, which means they bear the one. What on the man? What on the brethren?
Hold on. Stop for one. Time out.
But
I already told you, right? And this is what I'm going to do. Let me put you down so you don't interrupt me. I already told you came out with your preconceived notions to argue. I said that. I'm like a prophet. You're trying to prove that the Schizians are Israelites. I knew that before you even spoke out of your mouth. Now watch this. Watch this now. Watch this. I can't, Jabba, watch this. He just said that the Scythians are the lost tribes of Israel. Based off of Colossians 3. Watch this now. Watch this question. Watch this question I'm going to ask you, Anthony.
But you're on point,
Anthony, you're on point. I want you to answer this question. When was Colossians written?
Oh shit! It was Anthony style in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay,
When was Colossians written? I'm talking to you, Anthony Style. Yard man.
Have you spoken to him before?
No, never.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing. Like, raw, like you got that on point.
Cut off. Yeah, me back. Sorry, Bridget. My phone.
Quick question.
Wanna cut off the backside.
Quick question. I'm asking you.
Hey.
When was the book of Colossians written?
The book of the Colossians was written around the 1st century.
Okay. When did internet crazy? All right, let me do this, family. All right, while he fixes that, right? Let me finish this video here.
I can't believe people teach that though. This is mad.
I'm telling you, and he's trying to tell me that they're Israelites. Hold on, family. Listen to this. Hold on. Listen, family. They have their images, they have their bodies, they have their kings list, they have everything for the Scythians. You could read a basic Wikipedia article on this. Look at this. The girls get amazingly flabby. The Scythians have ruddy complexions on account of the cold, for the sun does not burn fiercely there, but the cold causes their fair skins to be burnt and reddened. This is not black people. This is not brown people.
Okay, Brother, me back on.
While I am talking.
Relax. No, I didn't interrupt you. What happened?
Now. Bro, we're not talking to you right now. I am watching the video.
We can't hear. That's why my signal messed up. That's why. Go ahead.
All right, so relax. Nearly all the Alani are men of great stature and beauty. Their hair is somewhat yellow. Their eyes are frighteningly fierce. Now, these men, hold on a second. So this is black people, what we would stereotypically call black people, although anybody could have these things. Are these descriptions, are these of black people? This is nuts. The girls, let's look at this right here. The girls get amazingly flabby and podgy. The Scythians have ruddy complexions on account of the cold, for the sun does not burn fiercely there, but the cold causes their fair skins to be burnt and reddened. So they are pointing out their fair skins. For what purpose would Hippocrates be pointing this out in the 5th century BC? We didn't need Herodotus to call them Scythians or not, because the Scythians is an amalgamation of 4 different groups. And by the way, to the Scythians name that they found out lately is actually we would pronounce it a different way and all that stuff. But anyway, let me finish the video. It's just 1 more minute left. Hold on a second. In so much that he discharged Menelaus from the accusations, who notwithstanding was cause of all the mischief, and those poor men who, if they had told their cause, before the Scythians, should have been judged innocent, them he condemned to death. 2 Maccabees 4:7.
They say Bill's in the back, I think.
See, I brought him up. The Scythians are not identified as being Israelites in the Bible, yet it says they can receive salvation. All right, let's go back here. Oh, 2 Maccabees 4:47. So he's pointing out what they were described as. Now let's look at something at the beginning right here real quickly. 1 second here. Where he's talking about in Colossians, right? Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond, nor free, but Christ is all and in all. How does Colossians say or prove that they're Israelites? That's the question for Anthony. Anthony, are you back? All right. Anybody else want to comment?
I'm just trying to trying to find the logics of it. So basically, if the top bit wasn't there where it says where there is neither Greek, then the rest of it would have made sense. But because there's a separation of neither Greek nor Jew, then there's a distinction going on. If it didn't say where neither is Greek or Jew, then I could see what they're
Hold on,
trying to
Anthony.
do.
Don't say nothing yet. Don't say nothing yet, Anthony. Don't say nothing yet. Go ahead, bro. Let me make a quick run to do something real quick. I'll be right back. Go ahead, Atambi.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to make it logical for them. I don't agree to it, but I'm just trying to understand. So if the top bit wasn't there, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, if it was just to talk about the circumcision or not uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, bond, nor free, but Christ is all and in all, then if they try to argue it like that, then I could see what they're saying, because the Israelites could be amongst the barbarians, the Scythians, and etc. But we're neither. There's hello. Hello. Who's that? You sound like you're from the UK. Read the chat. Let me read the chat. Skippings can't be Gog and Magog. David was ruddy. Yeah, even ruddy. That's like a brown skin or something light skin. But I don't think it means like European red skin. Everybody in the Bibles are Israelites. Hey, Kwame, come up, man. Hey. Yeah, man. Hey, Anthony, you on the panel still? Put my mic on mute till someone comes back, man. Yeah, big up Mongo, man. Big up, man. Hey, that true story guy makes me laugh, you know.
Okay. All right. He's trying to say Colossians that they were Jews because of this, right? What I need to point out to him, if you look at a simple Scythians web page, Wikipedia, right? If you go, hey, my daughter, I'm actually live.
Okay, I just want to say Happy Father's Day. I love you.
Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Greatest. Love you too. All right.
We'll see you later.
All right. Shout out to my daughter, giving props to the greatest dad in the world. All right. All right. So let's do this, because you know what? Israelites' phones never work yet. What's up, Kwame? What's on your mind?
Hey, peace, Garfield. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. Same to you, brother.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, cause you had said something a long time ago, but you just never did a
We're
show
talking
on it.
about the Scythians. We're not talking about that right now. You
All
always
right, all
do
right.
that. You always do that. You don't want to talk. You just want to come and bamboozle my show and take over.
Nah. I'll wait till you're done.
And by the way, let me say this to the brothers out there that's watching. Father's Day is like the worst quote unquote holiday, and I think that's a bad rep because fathers have been doing their jobs for the past 300,000 years. Because if it wasn't for the man, a lot of families wouldn't exist. So shout out to men, period. No matter if it's a good or bad situation, if you're working or not working, you're still a father. You could play your role simple, a phone call, a connection, a communication. You're still doing your job. So shout out to the fathers who are driving the world right now. Men, we are the reasons why people are living and carry on daily, and we're strong and we're holding it down. So this whole thing about fathers being bad and this father being, that's the minority. Most black men or most men in general are doing their jobs. I just want to put that out there. All right.
Thank you.
All right. The Scythian stuff. Let's get to the Scythians. And this is just a basic Wikipedia article, right? So to talk about the Scythians, right? It says sometimes also referred to as the Pontic Scythians. But I want you to look at the extent of their kingdom in West Asia, right? This is the extent of their kingdom. This is where the kingdom is. They came down to the West Asia area, don't get me wrong, and to where the Medes is. So they're trying to say they came down to where the Medes is, and that's 652 BC in alliance with Assyria. So if they're in alliance with Assyria, who's the enemy? So you're telling me all of a sudden these people migrated from this area? The whole thing don't make no damn sense. It don't make no sense. None. This guy is saying that the Jews were Scythians and Herodotus was the one. No, you had other scholars who talked about the Scythians. They were skilled in mounted warfare. But hold on a second there. Let's scroll down a little bit to the name and the origin of the word. It means archers. He's right. It means bowmen. He's correct on that, right? It says to the endowment of the Sarmatians arrows. Earlier score was derived from the Akkadian word and all that stuff. That's how we get that. The ancient Greek and all that stuff. All right. Scyzians proper. The name Scythian was initially used by ancient authors to designate specifically the Iranic people, Danube and the Don rivers. So Israelites are Iranic people now. In modern archaeology, the term Scythians is used in its original narrow sense as a name strictly for the Iranic people who lived in the Pontic and Crimean steppes between the Danube, tribe of Dan, and Don rivers.
I've heard of that before.
BC.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get what's going on. I get it.
All right, so watch this now. While the ancient Persians used the name Saka to designate all the steppe nomads and specifically refer to the Pontic Scythians,
I've heard
name Saka is used in modern
Saka
scholarship to designate the Iranic pastoralist nomads who lived in the steppes of Central Asia and East Turkestan. The Cimmerians, the late Babylonian scribe of the Achaemenid Empire, used the name Cimmerians to designate all the nomad peoples of the steppe, including the Scythians and the Saka. However, while the Cimmerians were an Iranic people, sharing a common language, origins, and culture with the Scythians and are archaeologically indistinguishable from the Scythians, all sources contemporary to their activities clearly distinguish the Cimmerians and the Scythians as being two separate political entities. There are two main sources of information on the historical Scythians: Akkadian cuneiform, text from Mesopotamia, and Greco-Roman sources which cover all of Scythian history, most prominently those written by Herodotus. All right. Migration out of where? Central Asia. The second wave of migration of Iranic nomads correspond to the early Scythians' arrival from Central Asia into the Caucasian steppe, which began in the 9th century BC. So this happened before the tribes had gone. So there are Scythians documented before the lost tribes or whatever conversation. That kills the whole argument. But hold on, it gets even funnier down here. Look at what it says down here. This is just ridiculous at this point.
So who's trying to claim the Scythians then?
Yeah,
like,
so the
as
Scythians
people
are Israelites.
No, who are they today that they're saying?
They're saying that they migrated to the areas of the Anglo-Saxons and all those people migrated. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Hold on one second. I just got to show you a claim that's so stupid.
Hey, that just connect to the Ashkenazi or the people in Uzbekistan, the Jews in Uzbekistan?
No. Scythian languages, and then of course you have somebody who would say, oh, the languages are the same and this is parallel, and make all these claims, and we suck it up as an idiot, as idiots. We just suck it up and say, hey, what this is what you do and all that stuff. They had kings. Hold on 1 second. I just need to see one thing. Archaeology, genetics. I'm not even going to do your genetics because they don't do it. See, look at this. They have their list of kings. Aspakaya, Bartatua, Madeus, kings of Pontic, Spartak. So the different type of people who are Scythians, different groups of them have their names.
Is this found in the inscriptions?
Yep.
Okay.
Their bodies, they have tons of their body that they're tested. British Israelism.
And at least British Israel, it seems like they got more evidence than the Hebrew Israelites.
No, but they're using British Israelism sources. That's what they're using.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this seemed like desperation at this point.
Look at this. Historical speculation. British Israelism rests on linking different ancient populations. This includes linking the lost tribes of Israel with the Scythians, the Cimmerians, the Celtics, and modern Western Europeans such as the British. To support these links, some adherents believe that similarities exist between various cultural aspects of these populations, and they argue that these links demonstrate the migration of the lost Israelites in a westerly direction. Examples given include burial customs, and more. Demont argues that the customs of the Scythians and the Cimmerians are in contrast to those of the ancient Israelites, and he further dismisses the connection between these populations and the Saxons and Celts, particularly criticizing the then current formulations of British Israelism that would interject Semites between the closely related Israel and Germans. The Scythian origin of the Scots has been referred to as mythical. Algernon Herbert, writing in 1848, characterized the linguistic derivations of Scots from Scolodia as strictly impossible, and Merrill referred to it as false etymology. Addressing their view on the fate of the exiled tribes, Frank Boy said of their voluminous output, all the effort to write these volumes might well have been saved on the premise that they were never lost, which we believe to be the correct one. I'm going to show y'all one more thing. Then I'm done with this stupid Scythian argument. Dumb as rocks.
It's new to me.
So look at this.
I know about the Celtic one, though. I've seen someone teach that before.
Look at this. Look at this, family. I did this years ago on Sonata's channel. Nobody paid attention because nobody knows what these guys believe. They kind of hide what they believe. So there's 400 manuscripts that they found of Anglo-Saxons, right? None was written in Hebrew. It's called Hiberno-Saxon manuscripts and later Anglo-Saxon illuminated manuscripts. In the European language family, not related to the Semitic family, this is basic pseudo-linguistics at its best. If the Anglo-Saxons were lost tribes of Israel, why did they convert to Christianity and build monasteries? All those who claim the Celtics were black, well, they were into pedestry. They were into kids. All right. Now, this is the Anglo-Saxon people, right? Actually sewing themselves with the Bayeux tapestry. You can't make this up.
Oh yeah, I see you put this up the other day before, but I weren't.
You can't
I was just
make
binge
this
watching.
shit up, yo. They show their enemies and them. Why are they not showing black people? Look at the black fingers. They got black people right here. Look at more black people. King Edward, more black people. This is crazy.
Wait, who's this you showing? British or
this is the Anglo-Saxons.
Anglo-Saxon. Yeah. I'm with you. So when King
Edward, this is King Edward that they say is black.
People in UK, that makes me laugh, man, because I'm from here. There's not one indigenous black tribe, whatever around here. That's all alive.
Black tribe.
Don't know what's going on in America, but I'm from here. This
shit is funny, yo. This shit is
so
weird.
You don't believe King James was black?
No.
It is weird, yo.
And there's no hidden agenda going on. He just weren't black, bro. He was a white man. And you have to be an outsider. You can't be living in the UK and you think like this. The most dumbest person in the UK don't think like that. It's only the black Hebrew Israelites that propagate such information, bro. It's them. It's coming from them. And Rasta man. Obviously, I gotta have respect for the Rasta man, but it's like, yo, either it's anyone who's got that love for the Bible, and not even just the Bible, KJV, shall I say, that says, and they're black.
This image right here,
black.
King Charles II commissioned this one right here. He put these pictures out. Ain't nobody forcing no iconography, iconoclasm, or none of that nonsense that y'all teach. He put these images out, and because they look white, oh, it's fake. Show me a black image of Charles. This is ridiculous. And because his mom says on the proclamation, it said they call him a black man. Ladies and gentlemen, I got tons of examples of Europeans being called black. They don't use black the same way in England originally. Remember, race is not a social construct.
Back then as well, special.
So when they say black Tom or a black man or whatever, I mean, and this I said it says nothing about being black. I was actually wrong. It does say black in here. He was black, tall black man. That's how they describe it. It's crazy. His mom said, "Hey, he's striking physical appearance." She said, what his mom said. She had given birth to a black baby and to a friend in France that he was so dark that she was ashamed of him. She would send his portrait as soon as he's a little fairer. So hold on a second. So how is it that she's sending pictures of him a little fairer? Did she bleach him? Did she bleach him?
You got some dark skinned Irish people.
Maybe she had cake soap.
She had the one that Cartel used to use, right?
You know, if you got a Welsh person in the room, an English person in the room, and an Irish person, depending on them, if you got like a dark Irish, a dark English person, and a dark Scottish person, their tones of darkness is different. And if somebody's writing about them, depending on the context, you might use that terminology, black, if you're from that environment, though. You know what I'm saying? So you got some dark Irish people out here, you know. So, like near enough like looking Asian, like Indian people. So yeah, man.
Yep. So this is who's the father and the father of British Israelism is all these white folks. And I wish we could come back so we could have the conversation.
Who's Ingo Jones? Who's that?
That's the author, the person who designed the dresses.
So why is this picture looking black though? What's going on?
No, because remember, this is from the Mask of Blackness. This is when they dressed up and put on blackface for the play. Remember, they are dressing up themselves as black people. Remember, the Mask of Blackness. Look at this. It was one of the many plays. It consists of his wife, and all of them dressed up in blackface. It was considered racist, but it's just what it is.
My take on it is, I think they're reflecting on the black, because black people did conquer Europe at one point, Garfield.
No, they did. You're getting it wrong. Why would black people need to put on blackface? Hold on a second.
No, definitely
not.
Definitely.
Listen to what it's about. The Mask of Blackness was written by Johnson at the request of King James I, his wife, and of Denmark, who specifically chose the topic so she and her ladies of the court who would star with her in the production could dress up in blackface. Yeah. Blackface is when white performers use makeup to appear black. So she's already black. Why does she need to put on blackface? You see, this is important. You see, Priest Daniel had never heard about this before. They only learned about this from Garfield. All right. So while they have pushed me to study this, because nobody has really studied the whole King James is black thing. We just think it's ridiculous and they say, hey, we just throw it to the corner. But these people really hold to a King James is black. All I want them to do, this is my challenge. Show me one King James image that's black, that he's a black man, one that he authorized. I could show tons of pictures where he authorized the pictures. I could show tons of images of King James.
I thought that picture was cross-hatching.
Right, exactly. I could show tons of images of cross-hatching, but I'm talking about an authorized image of him that he said that it was what do you call it? Hold on one second.
Back in the Maccabee Bible days, I probably would have believed that. You know, them days. Oh, Maccabee Bible. Yeah, probably back then.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, man. This is what we believe. And by the way, to the Celts, they claim the Celtics were black when all
and
the descriptions
Egyptians.
of
I've
them
heard that one.
show them. Look, this is the Celtics that is being described all over by Manetho and others. The difference of the nation depending on the nature. Gods really come from.
People
And
who
are they
present
black?
that, they go hard as well, you know, them white.
Yo,
I've
they
seen
go
someone
hard in
present
this,
that
man.
before.
Look at this right here. Manetho talk about the parallels of how they look and all that stuff. The tropicals from the equator to the summer tropic, the sun over their heads and are burned by it, have black skins and thick woolly hair, are contracted in form and shrunken in stature, are sanguine of nature, and habits are from the most savage because continuous by the general, bacon and so on. Those who live under the more northern parallel, those who have the beards over their heads, since they are far removed from the zodiac and the heat of the sun, are therefore cool, but because they have a rich share of they are white in complexion, straight hair, tall and well nourished, and somewhat cold by nature. These two are savage in their habits because their dwellings. We call these men too by a general name, Scythians. So this is the description of the Scythians. By the way.
Hey, Garfield, I don't even want to say the person's name. I don't even want to give them light right now. But there's someone on these YouTube streets. He's a white fella. He's somewhere in America. He would teach these things to the black community, but he would say that white back then doesn't mean white skin. It was black people was being referred to as white. And oh my
actually he's
if
not
you know who I'm
he's
talking
not
about,
totally
you know,
he's not totally incorrect. He's not totally incorrect.
Bruh.
It's not totally incorrect because that's one of my arguments. That's one of my arguments. Hold on, that's one of my arguments.
So you're saying black
Brian Jones, step up to the arena. I'm about to jump off in 20 minutes. I'm gonna be off the air, family, in 20 minutes. So I want everybody to have the chance to come on and talk and speak their mind. Come and speak your mind. Black people have an identity crisis. You don't know who you are. So because you follow the Bible, you feel like you're special. You are not the Israelites of history. Nobody is the ancient Israelites. Nobody. You could be an ancient, you could be related to the Jews, but not to the Israelites. It makes no sense because the Israelites come from their tradition. They come from Jacob, who was technically not a real person.
Unusual is an Israelite.
Say that again, my brother.
On now.
I said unusual is an Israelite.
Or what?
Unusual.
No. He doesn't claim to be an Israelite. Claims to be he descends from Jews. They don't use that. You see, that's the thing too. When we argue with folks who don't look like us, we like to say, so who is the real Israelites then? I don't believe anybody is the real Israelites. I believe the Jews, the ancient Jews, put a package together, which is the Bible, and that people followed that tradition and people could trace their roots back to that tradition. For example, the Babylonian Jews, the Persian Jews, Mizrahi.
So you're saying there was no group called Israelites? Is this what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can't trace ourselves back to ancient Israelite because the ancient Israelite tradition is more of a embellished tradition that's based off a myth. But the Jewish tradition is real. There's a real Jewish tradition.
So you see your view of Israelite or Jewish or whatever, yeah? Would you say they worshipped one God?
If what? Say that again?
Are you like you see how they go with their narrative, like to prove that they're Jew is because of how they will worship their God and all that monotheism stuff. Would you say that's like one of and them having a Torah and them to worship God or whatever, all them rabbinical traditions, not saying they existed before Jesus in its form how we got it today, but some form of something existed, like practices and whatnot, and worshiping a one God. Are you saying that is like the evidence and they are not the Israelites because they was worshiping many gods? Is that your criteria? Basically?
No.
Okay, yeah, no. Because
Garfield, I must commend you though, because you took a lot of time out to really corner them off on a lot of topics that a lot of people like brushed over and just brushed it off as just crazy.
Now, one topic we've not delved into is the accounts, and everyone's running from them. I see
Well,
that.
we're not talking about account today. But we could
I
set
don't
up.
even.
I want
delve
to set up
into
a day when we
account,
do
but
all Akan. That's Akan and Jews, the Jewish claim.
I
Let
don't
me
think
deal
we're
with
gonna
this real
do that,
quickly.
Garfield.
Hey, let's look at this carefully, right?
Yeah.
This is an image that was created by Simon van der Paas. He was a cross hatcher, right? He didn't paint. Nobody. There's one person that painted King James, and people use that image to create other images. All right, because you have people like you have the sergeant painter, you have the court painter, you have different painters. Again, Priest Daniela taught me about that. I never knew about no sergeant painter, no court painter. It's him. I heard say it, and I looked into it, and that's how I know I could talk about that right now. And he made a criteria one of his videos where he said that show me a picture that's commissioned by King James, and see he's gonna have a problem.
This was years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, he's gonna have a problem because the problem is there's no black image. This is not a black image. So how you beat them? How you beat them up is this way. Look at this. Look at what Garfield does. This is how you beat them at their own game. This image right here, right? Who created this image at the top? You see his name? That's his name, Simon van der Paas, right? Look at the picture before that they used and say he's black. So how is it this guy is drawing in black or have an image of him that is supposedly black, and he also made this one? Does he look black in this one? You see, if you play the same game they play, they're going to lose. But I don't want to play the game. I want to be straight up and upfront. We know his wife was a white woman. We know this. What we would call a white woman. This is King James, again by Simon van der Paas. Look at this image. Look at the mustache. Look at the beard. Look at the straight brown hair. This man looks like the average European. For us to run around in history, this is why no one takes the Black Hebrew Israelite movement serious. This is why they can't grow. They can't grow because they're teaching conscious community false doctrines intertwined with the Bible. That's what they're doing.
So he can't have a perm like James Brown
in the UK. That one, yeah, but they are big in America. That one.
Look at this one. This is another one. This is the image. This is the image that they have darkened, right? Look at the straight here. Look at the nose. Look at the mustache, and tell me, yes, this is a black man. Black men can have this type of phenotype. There's no doubt in my mind. But this man was a straight up European. Plus, he was a racist.
Garfield, he couldn't have a perm like James Brown.
Yeah, of course. Listen, of course. This is him again. Then they made this one darker. They used the Patterson's book that makes this darker. But this is not an official painting from King James. This is somebody using a painting and creating their own image around it and clothes and all that stuff around it. You see, this is the problem. They got a problem. Garfield figured out the joke. The joke is on them now. Yep, Garfield figured it out. They have 25,000 images online. Look at that. Remember they talk about the iconoclasm and destroying images? They got 25,000 of those images that survived. They found them it's on a digital platform online right now. They could look at the images in the 14th and 15th century.
Hey, Garfield, didn't you see some paintings?
Black images because it was black people. That don't work. You can't prove it. Then they go to 1 Maccabees 3:48, which is stupid. State the problem. Gather information on the problem. Form a hypothesis and educated guess. Experiment with the test.
Yeah, I'm
Select, record, and analyze the data. Draw a conclusion and then communicate and share the data and answer questions. That's it. They can't do that. And the reason why they can't do it because they don't have nobody pressuring them. There's no Hebrew Israelite scholar. They're just people that read books and say, hey, I like this because it agrees with my belief. They can't come to a conclusion that, you know what, my belief has been wrong. Henry VIII, this guy right here, he has several descriptions. One of the descriptions is that he was pale. He had a pale complexion with blue eyes. Another complexion said he was black. How do you determine what skin tone he was? But the black that you think of today is not the same black like that back then. We got to be careful. There's a humoral system on display. We got to stop the games.
You know where it is? As speaking as a black man in the UK, we wouldn't fall into reading into books because it's in our face. Like we should figure and discover it out for ourselves. And every black person in this country, I can put a blindfold on. I can say that we all agree that none of these kings were black. Like
Yeah,
Henry
these
the
are black
Eighth,
kings.
King
Look at this. Look
James,
at this
like
guy from
the
Anglo-Saxon.
majority.
King Edgar.
Probably
Look at
have a
King
little
Edgar.
fringe.
Look at King Edward. These are
Majority, we wouldn't
all
need to
black
read a
kings.
book to understand this.
These are all black kings. All of them are black kings. Black.
Hey, Garfield, didn't you have some pictures of King James that nobody else seen from when you went to
Nope. Yep,
England?
yep. Yes, I do. Here goes Gideon.
Yeah, I see you go ham
Gideon,
on
do
this
you have
couple years
sources?
ago, man. Oh shit, we got Israelite on the platform.
Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. In the name of Yeshua. What's
Salam,
going on,
salam,
everybody?
shalom, shalom.
Aquabo.
No doubt. That's what's up.
It's a Quaba, man. It's not a Quabo. It's a Quaba.
Aquaba.
Yeah. With Garfield, what you're saying, there's a lot of true stuff to what you're saying, but this is where I can't respect what you're saying or what you're doing. Because when you finish breaking down all this stuff that you say, you'll wrap it up by saying there isn't no real Hebrew Israelite scholars, or you attach this to what the majority of Israelites believe, which is false, which I would agree. I don't think everybody think like the camp Israelites. So what you do is,
Hey, hold on. Time out.
I just got 10 seconds because I don't want us to start interrupting each other. I won't be long.
Time out. Gideon, time out for 1 second. Because you didn't hear the beginning of the show, I said whenever I'm talking about black Hebrew Israelites, I'm talking about the dudes in One West. That's what I specifically said that. So you coming on and saying that I'm talking about, no, I specifically said you have Christian Israelites, you have people who are black Jews or black Hebrews, and you have people who are black Hebrew Israelites. This is regarding a black Hebrew Israelite teaching. Now, is there something that I said wrong about the black Hebrew Israelite teachings? Then you can comment on that.
Right, but this is what I'm saying.
In general sense, when you didn't hear anything, you sound crazy right now.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. One thing about the truth is consistent, right? So you may have said that in the beginning, but me just listening for the past 10 minutes, I've been listening for about 20 minutes or so, but me just listening for the last 10 minutes, the last 5 minutes, you would lay up there and ascribe that to all Hebrew Israelite doctrine. You just sat up there and said ain't no such thing as an Israelite.
No, he's kind of on point though, because he's not saying black Jews. He's saying Hebrew Israelites.
I'm not going to go back and forth with Gideon, because Gideon has no sense. I just cleared up what he said, and he came back and said, you're going to speak. There's no Israelites. Israelites can't exist because Jacob never exists. It's a made-up storyline off of tradition. It's called etiology. How many times should I repeat myself? There is no such thing as an Israelite based off the Bible tradition of Jacob. Now, there are historical Israelites where we could track and try to trace it through archaeology, anthropology, through history, through linguistics, through genetics. There's a tradition that we can develop. That tradition of what we see in the Bible, of them believing in the Bible, we don't find it until like the 2nd or 1st century BC. So now for somebody to come on here and tell me that I said Israelites, biblical Israelites can't exist because Jacob is not a real guy, period. Now, if you want to continue the conversation and make some sense, go ahead. The floor is yours. But please make some sense. Please make some
Garfield,
sense.
I want to ask you something, not about Jacob.
No,
let him
talk. Let him talk.
Let Gideon talk. Let Gideon talk.
Let Gideon talk.
Cool.
Let him keep making a fool of himself.
So it's like when you ask the Apple, do you believe the slave trade happened? When you put them on the spot, they say no, they believe it. But when you let them run their mouth for 5-10 minutes, it go to showing that they really don't believe it happened. So which is it, JJ Garfield? You saying that there's no Hebrew Israelite scholars, I call you out on it. Then you make this big whine and cry, and you say you didn't do it, and then you end it by saying ain't no Hebrew Israelites. You're not making any sense. And I hope this don't devolve into me just talking stupid.
Gideon, stop. 1 point at a time. You said there are Hebrew Israelite scholars. Who are the Hebrew Israelite scholars?
That was my whole point when I first came on, and you refuted it.
Stop.
Well, first, let's just say you standing on what you're saying.
This is what you do, Gideon. I hold your feet to the fire because you don't make any sense. You just want to disagree for the sake of disagreeing. So I'm going to say this. Name me 5 Hebrew Israelite scholars.
Okay, let's start over to see how we got here, real quick.
Oh,
I ain't
got time for this, man. I ain't got time for this. So this is what I'm gonna do, ladies and gentlemen. I've been on for 1.5 hours. Anybody could take what they take from the show and move on from whatever. But I'm gonna say this: the Happy Father's Day Black Hebrew Israelite edition. Let me just get into Ispeed and Ashton's video real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get to this video real quick because that's a topic on the show. Let me get to that. Share screen. Let's get to this. All right. So now, before I show this video, I didn't know who Ashton Hall is until a week ago. No, matter of fact, I did know him from DJ Khaled's video. DJ Khaled's video. That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
All right. So before I play the video, fair use warning. All right. Here we go.
It's motivational, them routines though.
All right. So here we go. King David of the Bible didn't exist. We can say that. The King David that's referred to in the Bible did not exist. That's just facts.
So what about the
gentleman? Hold on, guys. You can't talk while I'm talking, man. Because it's gonna sound crazy. All right. Now, the gentleman Solomon. We can prove Solomon. I personally feel there is a Solomon. Right? Now, my personal feeling, inclination is that there's a guy named Solomon, but he wasn't the guy in the Bible as far as being a 700 wives. I think that's just writers writing a history and bringing that up. Now, was there a united kingdom? No, there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence that Solomon and Jeroboam broke off. We have no evidence of this united kingdom. We're still searching for that. So this is the problem. In one hand, Judah was never a part of Israel. So they're writing the story over to make themselves a part of the overall history of Israel. This is what the problem that you're going to have because you can't prove that Israel and Judah was one. You can't prove that. This is something later on that happened in the Hasmonean time period. So now, did Israel exist as a kingdom? Yes, for a small time period, like around probably less than 100 years. So what? You can't prove the David of the Bible is a real person that really existed. You can't prove Solomon. You can't prove Solomon existed. You can't. It's based on faith. It's just facts. It's facts. Romulus didn't exist, but Rome did. Stop using my arguments, Kwame. Got him. Got him. All right.
What up, Garfield?
So anyway, Ashton Hall, I didn't know who he was until DJ Khaled video. But I didn't know he was this guy that got millions and millions of followers or whatever. Because it seems like these type of things are running the scenes right now. Let's take a look at this video right here real quick.
Deployed. Ispeed just ended Ashton Hall's career.
Ashton fraud in the chat. Ashton fraud in the chat. It ain't Ashton Hall, it's Ashton fraud, man.
One of Ashton Hall's gimmicks is that he's really fast, and Speed beat him in a race, not once, not twice, but 4 times.
You're lying.
What I say? What I say? Too slow. Stop playing with me, dude.
On Ashton Hall's Instagram, he kind of edited from an angle that looks like Speed's losing, even though Speed clearly won every race.
You scared because all your images over with.
What's everybody saying?
All his Instagram images over with. He not fast. You lost 3 times to me.
Come on.
You slow, my boy.
Why are you leaving?
Take your L.
Faster than me. Why are you?
Because I beat you 3 times.
Bro got.
That's not the thing.
That's crazy, yo. That is crazy.
This is the story of the one who sees work stalled to a halt. Thankfully, there's Granger, offering the scaled.
Smoked fair and square 3 races in a row and still had the audacity to ask for a 4th. But fellas, considering the amount of muscle Ashton Hall has, he is very fast. It's just Speed is faster. Even the gay black guy from Vine said they don't call him Speed for nothing.
The next one, when you swipe, it's going to be a side shot with me in the front. I'm going to try to get him out of the frame, though. You're gonna see me running. You won't see him at all. You might see a piece, maybe of his little hair, of his forehead.
Yo, take
Stop
the L,
coping,
yo.
buddy. You should have stuck with real opponents like DJ Khaled.
Life. Roblox.
Baba Bowie.
WestJet. What is up, kites and gnats and acrobats? WestJet 615, Venezuelan trillionaire here, and today we're talking about Ashton Hall's career being utterly destroyed. Oh, and literally 0% of your subscribes. Be sure to subscribe. Yeah. Dang! That L shook him so hard he broke his TV. I show Speed straight up changed his morning routine. He's crying. On the real, there's a whole lot of waffling and not a lot of practicing. He should be practicing his runs. Dang! Me when I lose my 6-leg parlay on Venezuelan water polo. Wait, I'm retarded. I just noticed he's in a messy jersey, bro. Bro caught him in a messy jersey. Even Andrew Tate said that, well, his name is Speed. I did some due diligence, and turns out Ashton Hall was the one who challenged him to a race on his stream. Bitch, I'm a fucking demon! Yeah, a dodge demon. For legal reasons, that's a joke.
I'm dusting his ass. He pissing me off now, bro. He pissing me off, bro. I'm really dusting his ass.
I don't know if Ashton Hall genuinely believes he's fast, but Speed's no joke. Here's him running against the fastest man in the world. He doesn't even have Olympic training, and surprisingly, he was holding up relatively well.
Bro, you don't weigh enough, bro. Let's get it popping, bro. You don't weigh enough. Let's get it popping, bro. Hey, do muscle just for show, bro. Do muscle just for show, bro.
He wasn't joking, though. It kind of was at the end of the day.
Dude, all the muscles just for show. You about to get your shit dusted, bro. I've been doing this too long.
He's been doing it for so long, he missed the fact that muscle doesn't actually make you run faster. Like, Usain Bolt's an outlier, but the other guys aren't really that jacked. Ashton Hall's built like a Ford F-150 Raptor, and that's a compliment.
Bro, this is it for you. This is it I told you to back out. This is it for you. I text you to the side, say, brother, listen. This is it for you, my boy. Tell him I went MIA.
Again, I think he's a bit too confident. Nobody expected Bro to beat Speed before GTA 6. Bro weighs as much as a cow, and Speed weighs as much as a chicken. They met up on Speed's stream, and this is what happened when Ashton lost his first race.
What I say? You slow. You a fraud.
Yo, why you had to call him a
Ashton lost,
fraud,
but he
yo?
kept saying that he fell and wanted a
that was
rematch,
messed
which
up,
Speed
though.
obliged.
Yeah, that fall was mad.
Too slow.
Okay, that's not even close. Bro got smoked fair and square. Ashton thought the grass was the problem and wanted to race Speed again. You know, he blamed the terrain. And then he got smoked on the cement.
Everybody I need, everybody I know, I love.
You should have ran him
That's the best part, the very best part.
You should have ran him on the both got sneakers. You never do the beer
Bro, I'm just shocked he didn't like call him out to go on a real track.
Yo, get off his dick. I know y'all on his team, but get off his dick.
That was not a tie. Ashton Hall's team is coping hard.
You win some, you lose some, bro.
You know, valid quote, but where's the win? Is the win in the room with us right now?
You get what I'm saying? So he beat me fair and square, he did. And I did ask to run it back. That's what I'm always gonna do. Run it back. Like, let me go. And turns out, bro beat me clearly 4 times fair and square. First time I slipped. Second time he clearly beat me. And I said, bro, run it back. And he ran it back. The third time it was a tie, everybody was saying.
All right, buddy, you don't gotta cope. You just said you lost 4 times fair and square, but how is the third one a tie?
A lot of them, tons of L's, tons of losses. And the losses has always gotten me to where I want to be, legit.
Just like his morning routine, you know, whole lot of waffling, whole lot of coping, whole lot of nothing. Nevertheless, his performance wasn't bad. He's an old man with 30 plus pounds on him. If you gave Speed a weighted vest, it might be a different story. Yes, because the Olympics are notorious for matching the weight classes. You know, they're all just wearing freaking weights in their shoes like Goku. If your cope exceeds even Ashton Hall, you know you're on a new intergalactic plane. Imagine some fat guy in your class says he's faster than you and you're ready to...
Yeah, I think Speed is just a natural. Even when he raced, what's that dude's name?
Noah Lyles.
Noah Lyles. You could tell the dude is just gifted as a runner. Some people are just born to run. If Speed took racing serious, he would be in the Olympics. He definitely would smoke Tyreek Hill in a 40-yard dash. I think. I don't think what do you call it? I don't know, bro.
What up, Garfield?
You think it could be Kadeem?
Who that? Kadeem who?
Forgot his last name, from Jamaica.
The new dude? From Jamaica?
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't beating them.
What up,
Wait, see, hey, let me tell you this though. Ashton Hall would have beat him in 100 meters though. He would beat him in 100 meters. I'm telling you, he would have beat him in 100 meters.
Nah, because
he would have beat him. Ashton Hall has the stamina to beat him in 100 meters. But that's quick stuff. Speed gonna kill you. Hey, let me tell you something. When Noah Lyles ran him, right? Noah Lyles is not good on short distances. I thought Noah Lyles would have lost. Because Noah Lyles is not good at 60 meters because he picks up as he goes. In 100 meters dash, he would smoke Speed. Smoke Speed. But I'm telling you, in the short distances, the quick distances, Christian Coleman would smoke him easily. But I'm telling you, hey, I put on a post this morning that if Usain Bolt had Ben Johnson's start or Christian Coleman, he would have ran under 9 seconds. He would have ran under 9 seconds.
Possibly.
Yo, what up,
but
Garfield?
I think Speed could beat him in 100 meter though. Ashton Hall. I think he could beat him in 100 meter. Cause he was
guys. I gotta get out of here because I gotta go take my kids out. Actually,
before you do, I want to know if you was able to look at that source I posted in the back chat, that Fra Angelico paint Miracle of the Black Leg.
No, not yet. Hey, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna say the Scythians are Israelites, at least research who the Scythians are. You have archaeology. They found tons of bodies of Scythians. You have anthropology. You have history. You have genetics. And you have linguistics. There is nothing that matches with a Semitic culture. These are white folks. Point blank. These are what we call the average white folks. So if you want to, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you are an Israelite, a black Hebrew Israelite, because black Jews don't make this claim. Black Hebrews don't make this claim. Christian Israelites don't make this claim. This is a black Hebrew Israelite claim that comes directly from British Israelism. So this is why I put this up as the avatar for my show today. And the reason, if you guys want to take offense to it, it don't matter to me. You could do whatever you want to do. But it's the fact. That's your daddy. So happy Father's Day to the black Hebrew Israelites, courtesy of these two white men. One is John Wilson, and the other one is Ovan. I forget what his name is, but it is what it is. Learn the history of why you believe what you believe, because nobody was teaching these things before this guy, especially the guy on the left. Nobody was teaching that the Scythians were Israelites. So what you guys did was steal the British Israelism, which is white, racist, white supremacy being remixed into a black skin tone to fit your dynamics. And what the problem is, you see what my video that I make 10 reasons why I'm not an Israelite? I'm going to make that video. This is going to be one of the reasons, the Assyrian Exile. It kills the whole argument. Because the people continued. If you go in the book of Acts 2, you see from verses 3 to 15, or Acts 3, one of them, you see where the people are located, who they're coming back. They're coming back from the areas where they were taken and going back to Jerusalem. Why? Because that's where they were, in Parthia, in Medes. These are the kingdoms and areas where they were located as different communities that established over time period. You can't get away from it. The fact is, you are teaching white supremacy with a black face. And then you say, oh, so you don't want us to live by the laws and statutes and commandments? Oh, so if we're not the Israelites, who are the Israelites? Oh, the white people are? Nah, bro. That don't work with me. That don't work with me at all. All right?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I'm glad that more people, you and other people, are picking up on the racism that they're actually spewing, and the anti-blackness. If you notice during the conversation, during the show, it was a whole dodge of Africa. And that's due to the ideals based in British Israelism, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. But they don't want to do the research.
Before I go, just because Iran and Israel is at war, Please stop saying it's World War III and the Bible is being fulfilled. Stop the nonsense.
Please stop saying
Please
that.
stop the nonsense. There's no prophecy being fulfilled. It's your belief. This is why belief should be an individual thing by yourself. Because once you're a part of a group, you're part of a cult. That's what you're doing. The Schizians were like Ukrainians. So I don't know what is there to laugh about.
Like this.
But anyway, family, peace and love, man. I'm out of here. Peace.
Peace.